Welcome to Let's Try Roleplay. We're a new tabletop RPG podcast, and we're going to be playing some D&D and maybe a few other systems in the future. Hope you enjoy. This is episode 1 of our first D&D campaign. We're calling it For Ohmsford. I'm Henry, your Dungeon Master.
And I'm Robin. I'm playing Nine, the Tiefling Paladin.
I'm Conor, and I'll be playing Tholme, the Human Rogue.
And I'm James, and I'll be playing Ibothane, the Dragonborn Sorcerer.
In this episode, our players are reunited in a bit of a pickle. So yeah, can you all three introduce your characters quickly, and don't tell each other what's happened in your prologue,
Okay.
because none of you really know everything apart from.
Can we tell what's happened in our backstories, though?
In your back, you already each know your backstory. So yeah, do a quick.
Kind of.
Do a quick,
We have snippets.
Right.
like a very quick fire
Someone go.
run through of your character.
Someone go.
Ibothane.
Okay.
Ibothane, go.
Shit.
My name is Ibothane.
Oh my god, I forgot this accent.
I gotta get back into doing it. Alright, okay, so
I'm expecting the accent the whole time.
I can't do this description in an accent. No, because I'm me.
Yeah,
I have-
describe
I have
Ibothane.
missed this voice so much. It makes me feel so happy.
Ibothane is a Dragonborn sorcerer. He's about 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Is a blue skin dragon,
Yeah.
which means that he has electric,
Lightning.
breath weapon. So he's a sorcerer, specialising in firebolt magic.
And nothing else.
Specialising, but feeling to do so.
Yeah, he's got obviously he's got high charisma. His strength isn't high at all. His wisdom is very low.
Yep.
But he's okay at the rest of this sort of stuff. But he doesn't wear any armour.
Mm-hmm.
He wears sort of a red tunic kind of top, like a burgundy kind of red, sort of sand red tunic top.
This is all pretty new clothes. as
Yeah,
well.
like this is new to the character. And then dark sort of brown trousers with boots on. And then he wears a green crocodile skin
This is horrific.
trench coat.
It's a fucking beautiful image.
Yeah, it's good.
It genuinely sounds like someone's got that like, really trendy 80s auntie.
Yeah.
Or like something like, in Harry Potter when Snape comes out of the
Oh, the-
Bogart.
Yeah.
Imagine it something like...
It sounds like something, if you saw them walking down the road, you would cross to the other side.
he's
That's
fitting.
right, that is a collective.
There's-
You say that, but my intimidation is very high, so you
And your
would.
charisma. And we were like, Jesus, he's pulling it off.
He does pull it off, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I've seen people wearing this in Brighton. So.
Brighton, though.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I think Ibothane would get on very well in Brighton.
Definitely
He's
would.
he's very metrosexual.
Very metrosexual.
But he
as
gets
far
really-
as we know,
Metrosexual,
straight.
metropolitan.
Just to say, like, as far as we know, he is straight, but he's very.
We haven't gone into his sexual life.
Yeah, it could be anything.
I don't think we are.
He's sexual chaotic.
Oh my god.
That's not his alignment. It's just his style. But he he wears crocodile skin trench coat, and I kind of imagine, you know how like on the back of crocodiles you got those sort of spine little
Yeah.
bits, like those are sort of on the shoulder.
They
Oh,
can,
that's
I
cool.
was going to say, do they
Right.
continue from his
Or,
head
like,
spines
the
down his back?
Yeah, and obviously it's like a raised sort of trench coat sort of neck, so it's sort of like a
Nice.
higher up neck.
It's a good look.
Cool.
But I kind of
It's-
like the idea of having the colour red, green, and his blue skin all mushed together in one disgusting pattern.
There is one very important thing you seem to have failed to mention.
He has a ring. He has the ring on his...
Earrings.
I don't have the earrings
Son
anymore.
of a bitch.
So, last time we played in your intro, you
he
rolled
has
a
a-
1, and something interesting happened to your arms.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about this.
So you know we use that. We use
So,
for the listeners, we
so-
use a net librum of random magical effects. And whenever a sorcerer rolls a 1, especially as he's a wild sorcerer,
my God.
he has to roll on this.
Rolls
And he
on the
rolled, and something happened that we haven't yet discovered.
My,
But also, his arms reversed, so his elbows
my
go the
elbows
other
go
way.
backwards.
Wait, What?
So his straight is like that, and then if he bends his elbows, it goes the other way to how you'd normally bend.
How do you roleplay that?
How long does this last?
How do I fucking fight?
No real person has seen it yet. It happened mid-fight, and we just finished at the end of his fight.
How do you... What?
I haven't really, honestly, I think last time I roleplayed, I think I forgot that had happened because I was in a bar.
I did as well.
I think that would have been really funny, him just trying to like shrink with elbows that just like, I pick up my drink and I twat the guy next to me with my glass, pouring it all over him. I'm so sorry, sir.
I cannot help it. It's Dragonborn anatomy.
I have elbow reversia.
It's a
Severe
genetic condition.
degenerative condition.
When does that
Slowly
roll
all joints in my body reverse. Eventually I'll be like backwards, my head turns backwards, everything. I'll go back to normal.
I would
Does
be a
anyone else
crab.
think he sounds a little bit like the really fat guy from Lilo and Stitch?
What?
You sound a little bit
I
like...
do a bit
What,
actually.
you think
Yeah.
like the government guy?
No, Jumba.
The Jumba.
Oh my god, Jumba. Jumba's awesome.
Oh, well, Stitch.
Anyway, so that's enough about Ibothane. 9.
Backstory?
9. Tell us about you.
Oh, no, are we,
Okay, yeah, Ibothane's backstory.
Alright, yeah. Oh, apart from that, I mean, I have the ring, which is what my focus of energy is. But my backstory is that, so I don't know my parents because I was taken by mercenaries, killed a lot of people in my village when I was really young, and took me as a slave. And I grew up as a slave until like my mid-teenage years, at which point the mercenaries were contracted to kill a wizard or sorcerer.
He was a wizard.
He was a wizard, yeah.
You're a wizard.
An elven wizard, and I obviously had to go with them, but I was at the camp. A bunch of them went off to kill this wizard and then failed to kill them. Only a couple of them came back, and then that night when I was sort of cleaning pots and pans or something in a local nearby stream to the camp, like there was all these explosions and fire and screaming and shouting and all this sort of stuff. So I came back, and there was all the mercenaries sort of dead, and there was fire everywhere, and then there was this man stood in, like, I think it's red, like he was in a red cloak with sort of gold details, and he was stood in the middle of all of it, and then he saw me, and I was like shitting myself. So he came over to Ibothane, and like obviously he realised that Ibothane wasn't one of the mercenaries and he'd been taken as a slave. He was sort of had, I don't know, like cuffs on his wrists and maybe like a chain thing around his neck, kind of like Game of Thrones, yes. And then he took me in, and obviously because I'm a dragonborn, he realised that I would have natural magical potential, and he trained me as a sorcerer. And so his name was Xanthir, and then I followed him for years until I think I'm like late 29ish kind of age now.
He probably left you when you were like 28.
Yeah, so
he
like
travelled around for like a good 10 years.
Because I trained with him for ages, and then we sort of did good deeds, which is why I'm like neutral good. It's my sort of alignment. So he sort of trained me in the magical ways, trained me to do good things, and one of my traits or something was that I can't stand by and let bad things happen.
Yeah. You travelled around with him helping everyone that needed help, basically.
Yeah, I'm also, originally, my character was quite quiet. That has changed somewhat. As like, I originally, like, because I've been alone for a while, and when I was with Xanthir, I was quite quiet and just learning and being taught, so I didn't talk a huge amount. But like being with these guys has made me talk a lot more.
These fucks.
But yeah, so he like one day they were in a town somewhere, and he came back. He'd been out of the inn that they were staying in. He came back, and Xanthir's door to his room was slightly open, so he opened the door, and everything was perfectly in place. It didn't look like the room had been ransacked or anything, but Xanthir wasn't there. And he looked around the village for Xanthir and couldn't find him. And then it slowly dawned over like a day that Xanthir was gone. And he searched for him for like half a year, looking for Xanthir, and found absolutely no trace of him whatsoever. No one had seen him leave or anything like that. And he's so completely gone. And then he kind of just sort of was travelling around, trying to do some good deeds and continue the sort of work that he'd been doing, try and learn a little bit more magic and stuff. And then he was in a bar and involved in a bar fight where he met two other characters.
So one of the characters he would have met would have been 9.
9 is a tiefling. Her alignment is lawful good, as she is a paladin, but
the
has
one.
taken the vow of vengeance for reasons that will be explained in a few seconds.
Oh yeah.
She is pretty strong. She's pretty buff, I have to say. She goes to the gym a lot.
Fantasy gyms, like lifting goblins attached to plates.
Literally, she could like bench press Ibothane, to be fair.
Yep.
She's charismatic as fuck, but that probably also because she's really intimidating. What else? She is basically the tank of the group. Here, kind of goes in and tries to fuck shit up. She's 21 years young, so she just hasn't seen that much in her life. She has
You're older
purple.
than I am.
Mhm. She's got purple skin. Her eyes are red with sort of gold flecks throughout them, and her hair is dark black, and she has a tail. She's pretty cool, and she's pretty tall for a girl. She's about she's 5'10", and her weight's 90 kilograms. What that actually means anything, we don't really know.
What's she wearing?
This is the thing. What am I wearing?
At this point, you're wearing. So you woke up. I won't go into too much detail, and you're wearing normal clothes, but we messed up a bit and didn't change your AC for what you're wearing. So I'm going to say you woke up and you're wearing sort of half plate. You're wearing normal clothes with sort of plate armor built in. It's not quite what you'd normally wear, but there's some.
Oh,
Is
so
it
they're
just
like not full plate armor,
Yeah.
but like you got the shoulder bits and the braces and things like
Is
that.
it just like plain,
Bits of
just
it.
like plain like grey? Or is
Yeah,
it...
just plain normal grey, nothing in particular. It's essentially like built into a normal, very Spartan tunic you'd be wearing.
Yeah. So she's wearing some form of armour to protect
Yeah.
her.
She's still got a high as fuck AC.
Yeah.
But
Colour is it?
She's pretty tight.
I like colours.
I want to say black, but it has to be grey because it's like...
But yeah, I'm taking charge of this.
Grey and silver.
Her clothes are brown. Her armor is dull grey.
God damn it.
That's not what she normally looks like. She normally looks bright and gold and shit.
Boring.
But for now, that's what she looks like.
Okay.
Boring looking. Okay, cool. And basically her backstory is, so she doesn't know her parents. She was left as a young child. Very
No
young
parents
child.
high five.
No parents. Alright!
Actually, that's all three of you.
We are the orphans. That should be our name, the
We
orphans.
are the orphans, three.
we played we played through the entire starter campaign to get you guys introduced. You still don't have a fucking team name.
No, we don't.
The orphans.
That's so sad.
That's
I know.
that hurts me. Like, please don't be the
The
orphans.
Orphans!
The orphans.
We're awesome, the awesome orphans!
It's a weird like circus troupe, the awesome orphans.
We are the awesome orphans.
Yeah. So she
hell.
was abandoned as a young kid at this fighting ring, because where else are you going to drop your kids off? And has no memories of her parents or her childhood. So she grew up in this fighting ring, basically fighting her whole life, but she was a slave, so she's had no sense of freedom or anything. And she's gone this sort of intense as fuck training. The owners of this fighting ring were cannibals who ate the people who lost right in front of them, and so for this very reason she is branded with the actual like Roman numeral 9 sort of on her shoulder and on her back in case her limbs got ripped off and they need to identify who the people were. Yeah, it's her left shoulder and her lower right back if she was ever killed. So she got trained by one of the top fighters at the ring there. They became pretty good, kind of like master and apprentice, similar to Ibothane and Xanthier. But eventually people could see the amount of trust that they'd built up, which the masters didn't really agree with, so they pitted them against each other and they had to fight, but he let her win essentially because he saw that she was bent for better things. So he let her kill her, and in his dying breath told her to do whatever she could to survive and that she would get free one day. And then after this, she started to hear voices in her head.
Oh shit.
So she's either
She went mad.
She's either had a complete psychotic break, or she's actually onto something.
No, she was
here.
just like, hey, this is your conscience. What the fuck?
Why'd you kill your friend?
What the fuck, dude?
So yeah, she heard a voice in her head that told her that she had to escape, and that she was meant for something better in life, which I think might be one of her parents. Be pretty cool. So what she did, she decided to organise a rebellion to break out, but unfortunately some people in the fighting ring decided to side with the masters because they were too scared, so which led to a complete mass slaughter and everybody died, and the fighting ring burnt down, but she was the only one to escape. But since then she's kind of just been traversing around the place. She's working as a mercenary.
She went to a bar, got in a bar fight,
She went-
got arrested, met these fucks.
Yeah, she really isn't happy about the situation. She just wanted to be
The third
kill
of the
people.
fucks is Tholme.
So, one sec, can I ask, what's your skin colour?
Purple.
Purple, okay.
Yeah.
You're obsessed
Wait, we
with
have.
colours.
She's the only
I'm
one
just
that
trying
we
to-
currently have
Oh,
a miniature for.
Where she looks sick a fuck.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I couldn't remember what.
I spent like a week painting her.
because I don't know what tieflings exactly look like.
Tieflings can have
It's like a half
purple.
demon, demi-demon.
They're
type
like
thing.
they can technically have any spring color. It can be like, but in general, it's gonna be purple, grey, black, or red.
And tieflings are like they're not evil, but they're
No.
dickish.
They're generally going to be a bit of a dick, but that's because they naturally have either devil or demonic blood in them. At some point, their family was cursed, or one of their ancestors had sex with a
But it's
demon.
not binding.
Maybe a succubus or something like that. And it doesn't bind you. Like Dragonborn. You're a blue Dragonborn, so you're descended from. You would know this. You're descended from an evil god. We had a drunk conversation about this.
Yeah.
You're descended from an evil goddess known as Tiamat, but that doesn't make you evil.
really cool.
It just means you have a you actually roleplay it anyway. You can sometimes be a bit of a dick.
I'm naturally good, but I have the pull towards the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a bit like you're like, who would that be? Luke at the end of 5. You have that pull towards the dark side, but you're good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Luke at the end of 6. Kind of the end of 5 as well.
I don't know if Luke's the right guy. Anyway, Tholme.
So basically, she is a mercenary and has been searching to hear that voice in her head again.
That's the
to
one.
find the person who has spoken to her in that voice.
You haven't yet heard it again.
She only hears one voice, not multiple voices. Just one voice.
Just one voice.
Okay.
So she's not mad, just one.
Tholme, go.
Yes, I play a character called Tholme. I am a human rogue. So I'm. What?
Your character's my favourite.
Yeah, I play a human rogue. My
Searches for dirties.
my stats are very much like lent towards roguey things. I'm dexy as fuck. And I come from a little island which is just in I think it's a little island called like fuck knows where.
I know this. Where
Is it like
the
the
fuck
fate?
is it? Oh my god, what is it? Fuck me.
Anyway, regardless of where it is, in the fuck like arse end of nowhere.
You're human, right?
I'm human.
Yeah.
And
It's an island off the coast of Neverwinter.
yes.
Was originally where you're from.
Yeah, and it's a little fishing island where bugger all happens. But so I've grown up there my whole life with my aunt and uncle,
Yep.
and never really knowing exactly what happened to my parents. I spent a lot of time sort of causing mischief and not really getting on in this small community. So I used to run off into the forest, and I built a little bit of a connection with the fairies. So the fairies managed to teach me a little bit of magic, and they taught me about the great world out there. And then I had some sort of coming of age ceremony when I turned 20 or 21, something like that. And they told me about what actually happened to my parents. My father was an adventurer, along with his wily band, and they used to go about adventuring, but he got into a little bit of a tiffle with some of his rivals, and I have not seen him since, and I was taken into care by my aunt and uncle. My mum is dead.
Oh.
I know, the orphans.
How did she die?
Why do we all have such
He
really
doesn't
sad
know.
backstories?
He doesn't know.
Henry's
His is by far the most Luke Skywalker backstory. They're all kind of Luke Skywalker, but his is by far the most.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We all have such
Oh my
sad
god,
backstories.
Tholme's my sister. He's my twin sister.
Sister!
Hey, admittedly, Ibothane fucks up enough on the library of,
Oh my god.
on the magical effects. I think one of them is
If I
you
switch
change.
gender of somebody, that would
You
be
switch
the best.
sex is one of them.
Oh my god. That would be brilliant.
So with regards to appearance, I look quite young for my age. I am but 20, but I might look like 15, and I cannot grow a beard to save myself.
Really? I thought you had a beard.
No, he looks young as fuck.
Yeah, I just look like a little kid.
I think this is because Henry wanted you to grow a beard, and so you just went, "No, I can't grow a beard."
It's because I tried to design you a fucking Hero Forge miniature, and I was just like, I feel like Tholme would have a beard, and then I asked you, having finished, you were like, nah, no beard.
Well, the thing is, I was going to make him have a beard, and I was putting a beard on the Hero Forge stuff, and nothing looked good with a beard. So I was like, no, he can't have a beard.
The one I made was
But then I'm like, but I really want him to have a beard. So then I was like, what if he's trying to grow a beard? beard, but just can't, so he just gets this weird bum fluff.
Hold on.
Just the one hair.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Do you still have your horse?
Oh, fuck!
I'm afraid
You
not.
don't have Stephanie anymore.
Not Stephanie,
What
my
about Gary?
beautiful male horse.
Do we still have Gary?
Yeah.
Thank God.
you-
Thing is,
Let's
Gary was never natural. Gary was like his familiar. He summons Gary out of his magical powers, basically.
So,
Pretty much, yeah.
Farts him out.
I've got very sort of blondie brown messy hair and some very simple clothes that I've sort of thrown bits and pieces of armour over. I've got a familiar called Gary, who is a bird who...
Top bloke.
Top bloke, actually.
Top
I've
woman,
only recently
actually.
got...
Speak to him, don't I?
Gary's also a girl.
Gary's also a
Gary, yes, Gary is a girl.
Gary has some
members.
chicks.
Yeah, Gary.
We have a
Gary
lot of
has
naming.
kids.
Gary was a girl.
Gary has so much responsibility. He has to take care of
does.
us and his own children.
Yes, and it's like Gary's off like taking care of his kids, and then everyone like, Gary, I'm gonna fight you, combat Gary. Comes like, fuck's sake, Tholme. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
and save your shit again. So Gary's pretty fed up with me.
Yeah, by this point.
Gary loves you though.
We don't believe in name gender assignment.
Nah, it's fine. This is like, you can name anything whatever you want. It's our world.
I
like,
loved my big buff male horse called Stephanie.
Yeah.
We
So,
do that a lot.
I know.
Accidental though.
so
There's our characters.
that's like a
US
pretty
studded
extensive.
armor, right? US studded armor.
He does,
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
You wear like
What's
studded
that, leather?
like leather armor.
And it's
yeah.
got a hood.
Maybe?
Yes, it does have a hood.
Yeah, yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
We
have
s- you have like a cloak with a hood.
Okay, cool.
What colour is it?
Brown? And a sort of white tunicky thing under, like a white
So
sort of shitty
purple,
shirt.
blue, brown. There's no flag.
He also has. He currently also has
Skin
a.
colour.
Not got
Blue.
brown skin.
It's
No,
like it's not that
brown
dark.
is the colour of the clothes you're wearing. I'm saying
Yeah.
our skin
My skin
colour,
colour's not
'cause
red.
that's like more distinct.
Oh, I'm
But then
blue,
it'd be
purple.
white.
No, it's more distinct, our skin colour.
Yeah. So we have blue, purple, white in terms of skin color. Not that that matters. It doesn't matter if you're black or white.
I'm neither.
Exactly.
Neither should.
They're just like different ends of the spectrum. So anything in between is cool.
Okay.
Cool.
I was
Right.
also trying to make a Michael Jackson reference, but
I just sang black or white.
I didn't hear you.
I went.
Oh, okay. Right.
Fireball.
Hi everybody. Hope you've been enjoying the episode so far. And if you are, we'd love to hear from you. We've got various types of social media for you to get in contact with us. You can like us on our Facebook page. We've got a Twitter page as well, at Let's Try Roleplay. And finally, we've got an email account, letstryroleplay@gmail.com. But please, no nudes. Release schedule so far, we're releasing once per week, and we're hoping to up that for 2 per week in either near or very, very distant future, depending on how things go. We would really, really appreciate if you could tell as many people as you can about us. So that's friends, family, people you see in the street. You are our sole source of getting ourselves out there, and we'd really, really appreciate any help you can give us. Now, hopefully enjoy the rest of the episode, and speak to you some other time. Bye-bye.
Oh, sorry, James here. One last thing. We know the sound quality is not the best, but we have a new mic setup, and hopefully in the future it'll be getting much better. We have some prelude episodes that we've not released because we're not happy with the sound quality, but we're going to work on them and try and get them to you as soon as we can. Anyway, thank you, and now you really can enjoy the rest of the episode.
Okay.
The three of you are currently in different places, so we're going to take this in turns.
Oh, shit.
First of all is going to be Tholme.
Don't know where I
Okay.
am.
Cool.
So, from what we did last time, Tholme was having entered the city of River's Edge by nefarious means. He actually discovered that he's wanted in this city.
Oh my god, seriously.
There was a
Of
big,
course.
there was a big wanted poster as he went in, so he uses magical powers to disguise himself and enter the city. Wandered around a bit, and he's got himself a bit of an assignment to go to something. I think it's 28 Griffin Way, something like that. It's a house along Griffin Way.
It's because I'm not currently Tholme, because I've got someone else.
Yeah,
behind
he's
me.
currently
I'm pretending to be.
No, you turn back into yourself to make put your hood up so no one can see you.
But I'm still pretending to be.
me.
You're pretending to be. I have his name. You are
your
Alan
character.
Parisian.
Alan Parisian is the name.
The name I pulled straight out my
Is it
ass because I
Alan
forgot to give.
Parisian?
Alan
The old-
Parisian.
Frosty accent.
Oh,
His name is Alan Parisian.
I'll be.
Exactly.
So yeah, you are currently walking down Griffin Way.
I'll be.
What are you doing as you do that?
Am I still in disguise self?
No, at the end of the last session, I'm pretty sure you undisguised yourself
I
and put
went
your
to a
hood up.
back alley, didn't I?
Yeah, you went to back alley, undisguised yourself, and walked out as Tholme with his hood up. You're still... No one will be able to recognise you. You got your hood up, face in shadow, but yeah, you look like yourself right now.
Okay, cool. I'm hood up, so I don't want people to know. But I'm going down, looking at the door numbers on either side, trying to work out in which direction I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're heading the right way. You'll head down a bit more. Once again, you'll head down. This is a big, wide street. The street I described before is like a good 30, 40 feet across. It's big. Probably more than that. Maybe like 50, 60 feet across. And you're heading down it. And going down this one side, you can see the numbers going down. Each house has this is a residential area. Each house has a big number on the front. Cool. But then you get to one building that is actually the building you've been sent to, and it looked quite different. So whereas the rest of it are sort of if you imagine a tenement building, they're all made out of stone, very similar. Each house has a little walkway going up to it. This one's very different. Normally there'd be steps going up and down from the ground floor just a bit to get to the houses, whereas this one is ground level, and it's a different colour. Everything else is cut out of stone. Everything else is cut out of sandstone, so it's grey, not quite grey,
Sandstone is brown
colour. No, it's like a greyish brown, quite a dark brown.
Sand brown.
Yeah, sand brown. And but this one is a jet black building with big bars across the front.
I like it even more.
And it's got very clear,
does it say fuck
big
off?
White lettering. Yeah, it says fuck off. No,
My
in very
building!
clear big white
I
lettering,
want to
it
buy
has
this house.
guardhouse written across the front of it.
I don't like
And this
anymore.
is exactly where you've been sent.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna make it it sounds like I'm talking to myself through this, but I'm actually just talking to Gary. I'm like, oh god, yep, Gary, this is us here. Even though Gary is nowhere to be seen.
I'm gonna say, just for you, I'm gonna say yes. You can talk to Gary at any point. He's not summoned, but
No. I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
I'm full on talking to myself.
In the street, just chatting to myself.
Oh, he gave you an out and you did not take that.
I wanted to help, but okay.
You have Apple headphones and pretend you could talking in the microphone thing.
No, they haven't been invented yet. Wait, a couple thousand years.
I'm gonna
Coming soon.
I'm gonna walk up to the door. I'm gonna check. I've got Alan Parisien's ID, and I'm gonna give it a firm knock.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I can do this.
A roll.
Oh, damn.
The first roll of all three of us together.
Oh my god, praise. Oh shit, I can do this.
Perception is in wisdom.
Is it?
Yeah.
+2. It's gonna be a 9.
Alright, yeah, you'll be able to
Woo,
see it. It's pretty
honey.
obvious. You see very, very obviously, right inside the door, the same big wanted poster for you.
That's okay, I knock.
What?
Dude,
Are you serious? Are you sure?
Are we gonna have to rescue you?
I was either gonna
him.
just sneak in and then disguise, or I could disguise then sneak in, I suppose, but I've just come out of my disguise.
You can still use another one. You just use another spell slot, which I think you have.
Okay, cool. Okay, well I'm just disguise self then.
Thank fuck.
That was such a you
My
fucking
stealth would have
idiot.
got me in anyway, let's be honest.
You knocked on the door.
Exactly, I would run away.
You can ding
And
dong
then the
ditch
door
and then
opened,
sneak in
and then
behind him.
sneak- Exactly, that's what I was
I
gonna do.
need a bag of shit outside.
Just set it on fire.
Alright, yeah. So, what do you disguise yourself as?
What did
guy.
Alan Parisian look like? He had more sort of
He
olive
had a bit of a
skins.
messed up face because you stabbed him and tried to eat his eye.
What did
Yeah,
he-
but he
what
wouldn't have
did-
that normally.
What did he look like? Sorry, that's another
So
story.
you couldn't quite tell. He had.
Eye.
Why would you do
That's
that?
another story.
I don't wanna be
That's a
friends with
story
this
for
guy.
another day.
I've lived too long through cannibals.
So he, from what you could tell, he had slightly darker skin than you did.
Not
Sort
okay
of,
with it.
if you put it into our terms, sort of like olive Italian skin.
Cool.
And he had short curly hair, which yours is, and it was dark brown, so that's different to yours.
Yeah, it's sort of
And he was probably about your height. Your face you couldn't quite tell because you stabbed him in the face, but you could tell he had quite a strong jaw, and a bushy eyebrows. That's all you can really tell. Other than that,
Is it not a photographic ID?
And a great
nah,
big
it's
bushy
just
beard.
got like
Just me.
It was like he found essentially like an ID tag with that and a diary that said his name was Alan Parisian.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and make from what I can remember of this guy, I'm gonna be like, yeah, bushy eyebrows, massive
Okay.
fuck off bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
And then the most amazing jawline and the short scruffy hair, and I try to picture him as like, yeah, this guy. And then
Right.
this guy, and then knock on the door
So you
again.
knock on the door, the guy answers and sees a chin with eyebrows.
Mate,
He sees Popeye with eyebrows.
It's like you know in games where you get to like custom people's face and you can like move like
Oh my God,
like,
that's
sliders the
down,
whole way up.
down, chin.
no middle sliders.
No.
Yeah, it's like everything's right at the bottom of the slider apart from eyebrows and chin.
Can you please make a performance check?
So wait, it's like Quagmire.
Performance check.
Oh my god.
Gets a Quagmire's chin with eyebrows.
Oh my god, it's gonna be a 5 plus
2, wasn't it?
2.
Alright, so you got a 7.
Yeah.
Alright, it's not great, but it'll do. So yeah, you knock on this door, and like obviously it's got glass at the front, which is how you saw this big one poster of yourself.
Cool.
And as you see someone around the corner, you realise, oh, you shouldn't look like this. So you click your fingers, and you imagine as much as you can what this dude looks like, and you change into that. You will look like a normal human being, but you will look as close as you think you can to Alan Parisian. This man comes to the door, opens it, and says, "Yes."
Hi, Alan Parisian, reporting for duty.
Come in.
Ah, oui.
He opens the door, brings you in, and sits you down in like this waiting area. You wait maybe 5 minutes, and someone comes to get you, and he goes, "Alan, something looks different about you.
Oui,
I was
oui.
kicked by a horse.
Where are the others? There were 4 more of you, no?
There's some issues on the road.
How serious if the others aren't out here?
No, I managed to deliver Selenia successfully.
That is good.
But the others-
What became of the others?
There were some.
Oh my god! It's so good now.
We were attacked by some rogues, I think, but they got taken away, and I had to come on. I had to complete the job.
What?
you know what?
Roll persuasion.
It's not bad at all. I mean, I really apologise to any French people that don't think it is, but I
All right.
Listen!
It's like, did you get injured? Are you okay?
En petit peu.
Oh, that makes sense. Something looks slightly off about you.
This is my idea.
Come with me.
I haven't shaved.
Something looks. But don't worry, you'll still look as beautiful as ever. You're beautiful.
Merci.
And he winks at you.
Oh my
and
God.
he says, "Come with me." And he leads you through to this other door. He leads you through this big metal door. Opens it up, locks it behind him. Is like, "So we have another job for you."
Okay. As I'm walking through the door, I'm like, Gary, I do not know if I can keep this up.
Do not worry. It is a fairly simple job. You essentially have to. Recently we've been having some strange reports of attacks on villages on the outskirts of the city, and we need to send out people. Just is a formality. We need to send out patrols. We really do not care about these stupid villages, but you'll be part of it. Pay like normal, and then we'll send you out on something more important. Everyone else that could do this is currently taken up.
Yes.
Sound good? Yes.
Yeah, after the last, that was quite a bit too exciting.
Of course,
A
of
little
course.
one. And then
Looking after these rich folk is always an interesting. How was Tholme?
très bien. She's made it home safe. She was a pleasure to talk to.
She is a lovely woman, very sophisticated. Is surprised by her father. He is completely different. Have you met
gave me
him?
a generous.
You must have.
is this woman dead?
No, she,
Is she dead?
no, she's fine.
fucking hates me though.
Yeah, she fucking hates him.
Can I ask? I don't understand why you're working for them. I don't get it.
I'm not me.
So anyway, we have a room for you upstairs. You'll start tomorrow. So he'll show you upstairs to this big room. It's got multiple bunks, but you're currently the only occupant. Imagine like a hostel room, multiple bunks, double decker, so double bunk beds. And he says, choose anyone, just go on, don't worry. And yeah, so you'll set up your bed. You don't really have many things, but there's bedding already there. And if you wanted, you could probably take a wee nap.
Yeah,
I believe you
Gary, that's hard work.
probably
Does the spell
need
last
a long
whilst
rest.
you're asleep?
It lasts an hour.
Oh shit.
It'll probably
Sleep with
you can
your
take a long
blank
rest,
over your
gain
head.
back half of any hit dice, all your spell slots, and you are at full health.
Cool, right, smashing.
So Tholme's not dumb. He's actually got quite high intelligence. So I'm going to say that he would, because he knows the spell is going to end while he's asleep, and if he falls asleep, because I think you do need to keep concentration for this spell.
Yeah.
You sort of put it so that you sleep so that the covers will cover you, and you have a restful night, which is how you're able to. But about maybe... You're not quite sure how long later, you've definitely it's a few hours later, you feel rested, you feel so much better. Any sort of small scratches you had have completely healed. And you are awoken by an alarm.
Oh shit! Mamma mia!
Why are you Italian?
I don't know, I couldn't think of an exclamation in French.
No, I panicked.
Mamma mia! I'm French.
Pain de chocolat!
Oui?
Baguette.
What?
The alarm's going off, and you can hear people outside running along.
Yeah,
I'm
disguise
so
self.
sorry to
You disguise
any
self,
French.
okay, mark down that you use the spell slot.
Spell slot.
I didn't
Awesome.
do French at school.
That's pretty much what it sounds
Star Wars
like.
alarm?
That is it, yeah.
That's it.
That is really annoying. That would drive me up
The listeners are
wall.
gonna
I was
fuck.
working for
The listeners are having to hear that now, right now. So yeah, you hear that, and you disguise self. You look instantly. You have got this look down. You look pretty much how you should, exactly the same as you did before, and you run out of the room, and you see the same man as before. He comes up to you like, Alan, we need to go. There has been an attack on the outskirts of the city.
Right.
Does he look slightly different than he did before?
No, I'm going to say he's got, like,
Nailed
once
it.
he's done it once, he can get it
Nailed it,
down.
yeah.
No, but it doesn't line up to close inspection.
It wouldn't, but he's not doing that much of a close inspection. So he's assuming it's you. Why wouldn't it be you?
I like the idea that it looks kind of like a man wearing an Alan-looking mask.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite fit.
And you're
Frenchman
lucky
named
in
Alan.
he didn't look that different for you. He was the same size
Cool,
and
cool.
everything. So your movements look normal.
Yep.
And yes, you are. So you run with him. I'm assuming you go with him.
Yes.
And you pick up as you're running. He grabs this halberd off the wall and runs out the door.
Dude, this is your life now. You're a cop.
Bad boys, bad boys.
This is actually. You guys aren't going to do this entire episode as a buddy cop drama.
Yeah, I fly out and I'm like, and I talk to Gary and I was like, oh gee, fucking Gary, what have I got myself into?
So yeah, you follow
Roll
him.
with the punches, roll with the punches.
This other guy's name is also Gary, and he thinks he's talking to him.
Wait, highs or lows?
Lows.
I'm afraid his name's not Gary.
Aww.
So yeah, you run right down the way you actually originally came down Griffin Way.
Yep.
And if you remember, you essentially come to an intersection, and down one end of the intersection is where you change back down that little alleyway back into yourself.
Cool.
And the other way is the way you originally came. You actually went past this Griffin Way. You weren't really sure where you were. And if you remember, down that Griffin Way, you remember I described that small intersection with the inn made of wood in the area?
You've put
Yep.
down this in
Yeah.
No,
So you head down towards that way.
Yet.
And as you're running, it takes you quite a while. So it took you maybe 10 minutes to get to the intersection.
Yeah.
And you get there, and all around you, as you approach, you start to see dead bodies lying on the ground.
Oh.
Mostly of children.
Oh, wait.
You see no adult dead bodies at all.
God.
Oh, les enfants.
It's like you hear the dude. You actually haven't learned his name yet. You hear the guy go, "Oh my God, what is happening?" And as under his breath, as he's running, he's kind of getting out of breath. And as you run, you turn this corner and you see the same big inn you saw before with the gates outside, the houses around it, and the river running by it. And down on the floor, you see a man being held by a large 6'8" dragonborn with blue skin.
My boy!
What do you do?
Wait, hold on. Do
Stop,
we actually...
motherfucker.
Do we recognise each other?
You're not there yet.
No, but will we?
You will recognise Ibothane. So, yeah, you turn this corner and you see a large blue dragonborn wearing a long alligator skin trench jacket.
You couldn't miss it.
He's bright green, blue, and red. You cannot miss him. Even though it's like 4 a.m, you cannot miss him.
We're never going to lose him in a crowd.
And yeah, you see him sort of kneeling down with the head of this armoured man, wearing very similar armour to the man you've been running with, in his hands, and the man is bleeding out profusely.
Oh god.
You recognise him as Ibothane. Now, Ibothane,
I see him chin with eyebrows.
you have
Oh my god, yes.
you have just finished that fight you were in,
Yeah.
and you're now looking after this guy that was a bit of a dick to you, but he helped you and he managed to kill a number of
know his name yet, do I?
yeah, you have no idea who he is. But coming around the corner, you see one very heavily armoured guard carrying a large halberd, and you see another less armoured guard wearing leather armour. He has short, curly hair, brown, a very strong jaw, and his face looks like one of those faces you easily forget. But at his side, he's carrying a rapier and 2 daggers. And that's all you can really tell about him. The other guy is wearing half plate. He's got armour on one of his shoulders, and he's carrying a halberd in the unarmoured shoulder, and he's also carrying a shield. You see them run around the corner towards you. What do you do?
I go, okay, so I shout to them, I go, this man needs medical attention.
You see the big man in half plate armour. It's like, what happened here?
We were attacked. Oh my god, your voice is going to throw me off so bad.
Back in the game.
We were attacked by snakes that turned into people. They took the adults and killed the children, and I definitely did not let a child walk into the river.
What?
The man...
I did not let a child die.
The man kind of turned to you, Tholme. He's like, that is just like the attacks we've heard news of. This is getting serious. Oh no. Dragonborn, what are you doing in this city?
I was part of a tournament in arena.
The tournament? Very good, very good. I need you.
I won.
Pick this man up. You need to come with us right now.
Oh, okay, I pick the man up.
You pick him up in your arms, and
as I walk past him, I go, "What's up with eyebrows?"
So Ibothane's in front of you, but he doesn't know who you are.
Can I send him a message with my spell?
That you can.
Oh my god, yes!
I chose your spells very particularly for this situation.
Amazing.
I would have fucked with him a bit. It's like I know who you are.
I genuinely feel like this is like the first time we've met in ages.
It is. It's like I know who you are.
You hear that in your head. You hear "I know who you are" in your head.
Oh, that's creepy.
So you should then.
Can you? Can you roll
To be fair, the
an
bartender
intelligence check?
as well.
Can you roll an intelligence check?
Oh my god, no. Okay, 19!
Nice!
This is Tholme's voice.
Yeah. Tholme?
I grew some eyebrows. I finally grew facial
Wait, is
hair.
this the guy in
You'll
his
have to
shop?
cast the spell again.
Oh shit! But it's actually
You get
Yeah, but
one
I
mention
just
and a
flat
reply.
out just said Tholme?
Yeah,
out
and
loud.
that's your reply. You hear Tholme in your head.
No, he can't hear me.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
you say Tholme.
It's not telepathy, I have to say it out loud.
No,
yeah.
No.
you
He
can't.
gets to hear your next thoughts.
Oh shit, do I?
Yeah.
Cool.
So he hears the words Tholme in your voice in his head.
Oh shit, that's pretty sick.
Yep. And yeah, I start turning to him and wink with a massive fish moves down over my eyes. Like a fucking hedge.
They look
A bush. Just
very
covers your face.
flammable. You said all the buildings around it. You said the inn was
They're
made of
all
wood.
made of stone.
No, inn was
The
made
inn
of
was
wood.
made of wood. There's a nice man in there.
Oh,
He gave you a room to stay in.
This is the evil side of Ibothane.
Yeah.
Never stopped to do with fire and wood.
Pyromaniac.
I have to burn everything that will
Yeah.
burn.
So, the two of you run down, and you actually see more guards running the other way, towards where you just came from.
There's a boy in the river. Get him.
Do you say that
Boy in the
to them?
river.
Do you say that to them?
Yes, there's a boy in the river.
Alright, you see two people run over towards the river.
just chuck
And
some boy in the
you.
river?
I did not throw a boy in the river. I'll explain it later.
I'm sort of looking a bit perplexed at this. Like,
It sounds like
what
the kind
has
of
he
thing.
done now? What this?
It's the kind of thing Ibothane would say.
Yeah, no, it's... Shit went down, guys.
I was on my own. I didn't know what to do.
Shit went down. I was on my own. There weren't enough hands. My elbows were backwards.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, how am I carrying this guy?
You're carrying him behind your back.
Oh fuck.
I'm carrying him behind me.
No, I'm gonna say because like you could put them out straight. You've got them like out straight.
Walk up with him lying on your arm.
Well, no, because if you can turn your elbows to face upwards, so you turn the face upwards and then bend them.
So then kind of like leaning outwards.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, you're carrying him along, and the two of you with this guy and carrying this dude
Oh,
run
fuck,
along,
but my
and
hands
as
are facing outwards.
Yeah.
So...
they haven't noticed yet.
Please, perception check.
Yeah, make a perception check then.
Oh my god. Please, please.
Nah, you don't notice. I'll check the other dude.
Fuck.
The other dude might notice.
You
It's
compliment
a
my
seven.
elbows.
Yeah.
Look like you've been working nice.
So yeah, the three of you run back towards where you just came from, but then you turn the other way down Griffin Way, and you make your way to this very large infirmary building. You can instantly tell it's got the even like you guys will know that there's the staff of the two snakes going around it. It looks like a medical building.
Yeah.
They take him in there, but the entire time you're running, the man you met and the man you've just met that isn't Tholme is running next to you as you go, sort of checking over this guy. He's like, "Oh, not my friend. I hope you're okay." And you can both tell that these two have, for lack of a better word, a connection. Like these two know each other very well. And you get there. It's all kind of a blur. You run into this medical room, and the man you're carrying is instantly transferred over to the nurses, who come out wearing sort of priestly clothes, and that's pretty much what happens. The three of you are now waiting in a waiting room.
I'd like to go to the desk.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Does anybody here do elbows? I have a problem. I start like waving my elbows.
Okay. Yeah. Highs or lows?
Highs.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, come on, please.
The acolyte behind the desk. These are clearly priests that specialize in healing magic. The acolyte behind the desk looks at you, like, "How did that happen?"
Evil sorcerer cast spell.
Oh, come with me, and you go off.
Thank you. That was a lie.
So you go into the other room, and they have you lie on this table, and these three people with their masks over their face come up to you, all wearing acolytes' robes. They're all wearing completely white robes. On their chest
I was going to ask
is
the colour, yeah.
emblazoned a completely black and red sort of half crown. Would you guys know what a diadem would look like?
No.
Yes, the diadem like from Harry Potter.
Similar to that. So it's kind of like, imagine a crown, but it has only three spikes.
Okay.
And the middle one's taller, and then at the top.
Oh, so it's a spike that the
is a
Ice
black
King from
gem.
Adventure Zone was.
Similar to that, yeah.
Adventure Time.
Yeah,
was.
but it's
Oh, yeah,
they're
so that's-
curved spikes going upwards, and at the top of this red crown is a black gem. You see that emblazoned on all of their chests.
Right.
You do not. None of you
It's
would recognise
black and
this.
red.
That's quite cool.
Black crown with red crown with black gems in it.
Okay.
You
Okay,
see,
cool.
none of you would recognise these.
No.
You run off. You're put on this table. Sorry. And they come around you, and they start.
Write notes.
They start running their hands over you and talking in what languages do you speak, Ibothane?
I speak. I believe. Oh, sorry, do I have it written down? Oh yeah, Common, Dwarven, and Draconic.
You would not recognise the name of this language. This language. They start speaking this like fairly. This language has a lot of consonants. It's clearly very difficult to say, and over time you feel this hot burning in your elbows, and then suddenly they pop and they flip back round the right way.
Ew.
Yeah.
They
kill
turn to
sign.
you. They get you up, and one of the same woman from before comes in and says, "That'll be 100 gold, please."
Jesus.
I'll give you 50.
That'll be 100 gold, please.
I never promised to pay anybody, and I walk out.
Surely you must know. That
I have health insurance.
Roll persuasion.
I am okay, yes.
Not 20. Not 20.
Or that one.
I'm with Dragon Booper.
Oh my god.
Shit.
She turns to you, she's like, Dragon Booper is...
Wait, what was my...
That's not going to make
Persuasion, 7.
She turns to you, she's like, Dragon Booper... That's from the Southern Kingdom. It's not available here.
Wait,
100 gold, please.
you have +4 on persuasion.
I have huge charisma.
She'll say to you,
Yeah.
you're not in the Dragonborn Empire here.
I try and sleep
And
with her.
then...
Wow.
There's a table right there.
No, you have to pay 100 gold. Take out 100
You could give her
gold
your
from-
coat.
Is there any discount for heroes
Take
of
100
the
gold.
State? I was in championship. Perhaps you see me. I
I
give you
watch you.
autograph.
That doesn't change anything.
Autograph
You got
for-
a 7
Offer
on your
her.
persuasion.
Offer your
unit.
room in the inn. Your room in the inn.
Pay 100 gold.
If you do not let me go for free, I will burn this place to
Pay
ground.
100 gold.
Let me do intimidation.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. Are you
Oh my god, I won!
sure?
Yes.
Oh no, please don't. Oh,
Go
God.
for it.
Yeah.
Can I use message?
11.
Highs or lows?
Wait, what? How is
Wait.
I have +7 to intimidate.
Odds
Which is why I wanted to try
evens?
it. I did not do well.
Odds or evens?
Evens.
He's already pissed off at us.
Yes! Yes! Freedom!
She'll look at us like, it's okay. I saw your match. 50 gold.
Okay, I will do 50 gold.
Okay.
50 gold
Remove-
and the crisp high five.
Remove 50 gold.
50 gold.
high
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
You motherfucker, if that had gone wrong.
five? I don't know how wrong that could have gone.
Like, guys,
Very wrong.
Very wrong.
pencil.
You motherfucker.
What time do you get off?
Jesus.
She's already walked away.
Am I healed, by the way? Am I at full HP?
You are not.
I'm not at full HP.
Wait.
Even
Yeah,
after...
you're at full HP. They've healed you.
Okay.
Yeah. Do not gain back your spell slots or hit dice if you spend any.
Fuck.
Yeah. You haven't had a long rest, dude. So,
No idea.
the two of you are healed. Well, you are healed and you walk back out to these two guys. It's been maybe 20 minutes. They healed you quite quickly.
Jesus, that's some successful surgery.
Yeah. So it's been about half an hour since you disguised yourself. You have half an hour left until it runs out.
Okay.
And what do? You are currently in a waiting room. You know it's Ibothane. Ibothane kind of knows it's you, and there's another dude. What are you gonna do?
Is the other guy, sitting right there?
Yep, right next to you.
Um,
He's looking worried as hell.
I'm to everything like, sorry, my friend, what's your name?
My name is Ibothane. You know this.
No, so my name is Alain Parisien. Big wink. With the hedge of an eyebrow covering my eye again.
Do I get that? Yeah.
Roll intuition. Is that a thing?
Intuition?
Insight, maybe?
Insight. That's the one.
Oh, fuck. This is not going to go well. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
11.
You know that was 11.
Oh, okay. Alan Parisien.
Parisien.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
The guy sitting in between you
Not
grabs
gonna lie,
your
that
arm.
wasn't a joke.
Tholme.
I actually lost control of the accent, so.
The guy in between you grabs your arm from. He's like, "Will he be okay? I'm worried about my brother."
Perhaps you should go ask nurse. They were talking about him earlier.
Okay, I'll do that. And he walks off.
Nailed it.
Tholme, what is with the eyebrows? It's not a good look.
Mate, it's a new spell. I'm still working on it. We'll get there, alright? We'll get there. I mean, the fairy shit's just coming back to me.
I understand, but do you understand? Eyebrows are 80% of your face.
And the
The
chin
rest,
is... Chin is
20% is chin. Where are the words coming from? Between the
I'm
eyes.
like, right, anyway, purple fucker, where is she?
I have no idea. 9?
9.
I have been asking, but I have not been able to find any information on either you or 9.
Purple fucker.
Can both of you make?
I have not been able to locate Barney the dinosaur.
Can both of you make perception checks?
Dinosaur.
Literally horny Barney, though.
Oh, sick, motherfucker.
16
Plus
or minus, plus
18.
2, 18.
My perception has always been 0, so 18. No,
Alright.
16.
Yep.
Yes.
So you would actually both notice it, but Tholme, you notice first.
Yep.
You hear from outside from a very long way away.
What?
A very long way away.
What?
And
Somebody is having party without me.
you then very, very loudly, even though it's still a long way away, hear an extremely loud explosion.
Oh my god.
Like, extremely loud.
Shit.
It rocks the floor below you.
Oh,
I mean,
I
see,
know what this
I
is.
think it was Ibothane, but you're here?
He looks at me and is like, what did you do? I
What do you
didn't
do?
anything.
What do you do?
I cast fireball.
I would.
On what?
The nurse, that
The nurse
bitch.
like, let's go!
She healed you.
It's a nervous twitch.
I know.
Firebolt every
The funny
time.
thing is there's still something else wrong with you. But you don't. None of
Oh
us
yeah, I don't
noticed
know what it
yet.
is. That he just said to me. By the way, I rolled a 1. He was like, "Okay, something happens." I was like, "What?" He was like, "You don't know."
Oh my god.
I say, I mean, in all, good time's sake, bail.
Yes, definitely. Run.
Uh,
Running is good.
Yep.
Cool. The
Let's
man
get
that
sick
you
of this accent anyway.
never learnt the name of walked to another room, and you two are left alone. You're able to leave. As you leave, both of you would notice a very bright fire
Oh, shit.
in the sky.
Oh fuck, I know. Oh shit.
And from that, you can see various sort of little sparks of light flying down in a direction, the opposite side of the city to the water.
Really big fire.
Really big fire.
Tholme? Are you a little turned on right now?
You motherfuckers.